Hello, my family. Okay, so currently I don't have the fancy hairdo. It's the messy bun thing, y'all. It's cold. So, as you just seen, I put the wood in the fire, the heater that we have, and it's cold. I had a nice bowl of soup, y'all. It's like zuppa Toscana, only it was made the Mediterranean way. I had low glycemic potatoes in it called Huckleberry Golds. The only way you can get those, though, is you got to grow them yourself. And I added some cannellini beans, which, oh, now, if you used the original recipe, though, you can use Yukon Gold potatoes. If you are diabetic or if you're watching your sugar, the beans will, even though it is a carb, it will counteract against the starch in the potatoes and slow down the process in your blood sugar, y'all. So, this is one reason why beans, legumes, lentils, all of this is fantastic when it comes to eating healthy. Now, I have great news. Honestly, I had told you all that I had reached 200 pounds, which I was devastated. But in learning actually how to eat my food properly, find foods that was great for my digestion and other means, I have between this and going to the gym, y'all, I'm down 4 pounds. This is awesome. So I'm pretty stoked about that, and it's just eating naturally. I, however, also am not going to fret about my weight too much anymore. I think part of the reasons that I also gained was stress. I was stressing over gaining. And y'all, life's too short. So, and to be honest, it's Christmas time. I miss cookies. So, guess what we're going to do today? Now, I'm doing a different type right now. If you do not have Italian flour, you can use all purpose. However, what I'm making is an Italian pizzelle. Now, their flavors are lemon, anise, and almond flavors. And there is a pizzelle press. But these are so good Italian cookies. And if you if you're not able to make them yourself, that's fine. You can actually, some Italian stores or some of the stores will sell pizzelle cookies. You can probably even order them. But I'm going to make some. And I'm also going to use substitute sugar in it, so I'm not using full grade sugar. I have 2 of my mama's recipes that I'm wanting to make. And I got to figure out how to do it sugar-free. So, and if I can figure out how to do this, I'm sure my little brother would appreciate this as well, because it's cookies we grew up on. One was my mama's crescent cookies, and the other was her kolachki cookies. So those are the ones I'm working on making sugar-free. And if I can pull this off, I'm going to make some happy people. So, y'all, I want a cookie. So let's go to the kitchen and make some Italian pizzelles. Okay, y'all. So, all right. Now, I will say I have 2 presses. And one, that's my pizzelle press that we're going to be working with. The second one, which my brother would also love, is called a krumkaki baker. Now, if you're not familiar what a krumkaki is, it's somewhat like a pizzelle, but it's rolled up into a cone, and it's a Norwegian cookie for Christmas. So I get to actually do both of them. And at this point, my brother's probably wishing I was right there with him so we could share Norwegian cookies. But this is the other one, and I was blessed with this one, so I was kind of really excited to get this. And I've made it before, and it was really cool. So, but for right now, we're going to use the pizzelle maker. And I may go ahead and start looking up recipes for the krumkakis. And I'll probably make a couple of these too. So, I'm also going to be using 000 Caputo flour for my pizzelles. So, y'all, let's get started because we got some Italian cookies to make, Christmas cookies. Okay, y'all, so another thing I wanted to bring up that I had found at the grocery store. As many of you know who's using sugar substitute, it is really hard because baking it could do one or two things. One, they brown too quickly. Two, they crystallize. So I found a Splenda, it's called a Magic Baker, and it's supposed to be ratio 1:1, just like sugar. Taste and texture is just like sugar, browns like sugar, so when we go to bake it, it's not over browning our cookies or whatever. I am going to try that, and we're going to see how this works. If this don't work, y'all, I'll use something else. But I've tried just about every substitute sugar so far. Monk fruit's good, but we'll try this one. I couldn't afford, there is one that works fantastic. It's by King Arthur, but at $10 for a bag like this, there is no way nope. So we're just going to try this one. So we're going to put this together. All right, y'all. So we need about 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. Like I said, I'm using the all-purpose 00, the Italian flour. I'm trying to go as authentic to this as possible. And since I've already got it, because I use it for focaccia bread and I use it for pizza crust and all that, I can very much use this one. They do have two different types. There's a red bag, which is more prone for like bread flour. It's got higher protein, and the one I'm using now is the blue bag, which is less protein and more for pastries and stuff like that. So we sifted this. We want to make sure it's sifted and that and if you do not, the cups was 1.5, otherwise it's 187.5 grams or 188 grams of flour. Now I'm going to need 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Wait, hold up. Nope. Oh, wait a minute. This recipe, hang on, y'all. This recipe's gotten me confused for a second. I was on the right track. I just did it. I jumped the gun too soon. Okay, so basically, flour. We need 3 eggs. We're going to use our expensive golden eggs from the grocery store these days, since my girls are not laying, which I want to cry. You just never know what you have until it's gone, y'all. One. Okay, come on. There we go. I'm going to make this easier. We're going to crack these bad boys in a bowl. Two. And 3. There's our 3 eggs. We need a pinch of salt. Now the flavorings on this is going to be quite different because you do have other options. So just a pinch of salt. Now I'm using Himalayan sea salt. You can use kosher salt if you want to. And we need 3 tablespoons of sugar. Now again, we're going to use the Splenda Bake. It's a new product. It seems to just come out at Walmart, and we're just going to give this a try. So, 1. If you're not watching your sugar, yes, you can very much use your own just regular sugar, y'all. But unfortunately, this household is going to be sugar-free as much as possible. Now, I do like natural sugars as well, so you can use stevia if you want to, and I probably should have done that. I have not tested stevia on my husband, though. And you can use, or I've used honey as a natural sweetener, but in pizzelles, it does not work very well. All right, so now comes our flavorings. Now here we can add some cinnamon, And it'd be about a pinch of cinnamon, just like that, which was around the rings. Now, I can make this batch and I can divide it up in areas, and that's probably what I'm fixing to do. So I'm going to whisk this, and in separate bowls, I'm going to have one that is going to be lemon, or actually I can add some lemon rind to this, and or I can just add almond extract or anise extract. So I'm actually looking for me to go probably lemon and anise. So I will be dividing this by 2. Then again, I don't know, I could make some of this into almond and see what it tastes like, because hubby's going to try this too. I don't know. I'm just excited. Okay, so let me get this mixed up, and then the olive oil is coming next. Okay, now you can use any type of oil you want to, but originally they used olive oil, and it's a better grade of oil. So that's exactly what I'm going to do as well. I'm just going to mix this all together in here with my eggs. And now we're going to add our oil in gradually, y'all. So now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and after each interval of oil, I'm going to mix it, and then we're going to add some more. And I probably should have just used a mixer, y'all. Okay, that's frustrated. I'm getting a mixer. Word of advice: don't use a wire whisk. Get a mixer. Use a stand mixer. Use a hand mixer. But yeah, make it easier on yourself. It took me a while to get that off of my wire whisk. Alright, y'all. So now this is tablespoon number 2. Then we're going to mix this up. One more, and it's going to be thick. You're going to let this rest after this for 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and add this last tablespoon of olive oil. Then I'm going to let this sit for 30 minutes, and we're going to get ready to bake this. Now, before I do that, though, I will be adding my flavorings. I did decide that I'm going to divide this up by 3 and add my flavorings to this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one mixed, and I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, so I definitely got to say this. If you are using all-purpose flour, please make sure that you sift your flour. It makes a difference. I will tell you, I've been making pizzelles for at least 3 years now. Now, granted, I told you that I am using flour from Italy. However, even if you all use all-purpose flour, this is the best consistency of a dough that I have ever seen for this. This is actually perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and add about a couple teaspoons or so of lemon peel to this, because this is going to be my lemon pizzelles. You can use, if you don't want to use lemon peels, you can use lemon extract as well. I mean, I have both, but I just want to add the real flavor to this. I'm just going to add just a little bit more of this, and that'll be good. Come on now. Okay. Now, that's good. Now, here's our lemon one. Alrighty. Now we're going to mix this one up. And what we're doing is we're allowing this to hydrate. This is the reason why it's going to sit. And I'm going to cover each one of these up with plastic wrap. Alright, so now there's that one. I'm going to get 2 more spoons here. And we're going to add about, I don't know, about 1/4 teaspoon of extract to each of these, because they're small. If you wanted to do the whole batch almond, you can actually use about 1 teaspoon to 1.5 teaspoons of flavoring. The same with anise. Now this one is my anise, which is Got that beautiful licorice flavor. That's the one I've known, and it is amazing. Okay, so I need a half a teaspoon of this. Well, actually, about a quarter of a teaspoon. Be very careful. All right, so there's my flavoring and the anise. And then the next one will be almond. And about the same amount in that one as we did. Go ahead and dry this out so we use our almond flavor. And then I'll have one of all three and we'll try it and see what we think and how we like the flavor of it. I'll mix these up real good and then we're going to let them sit for a bit after I cover them up. And there's that one. All right. All right, y'all. So now I'm going to take these and stir them. You can smell the different flavors right now. There's that one. And then we have the almond. Mix this up really good. And then we're going to let these sit. Now, you see this? Show you what this looks like. You see this consistency like this? This is what we're looking for. It's kind of a dough. It's not too thin. It's not too thick. But this is what's going to go in our pans and make that nice, beautiful, waffle-like, crispy cookie. All right, so now I'm going to get my spatulas, clean each spoon off. And I'm going to cover them. And we're going to let these sit for about 30 minutes, y'all. Scrape my spatula off after each flavoring too. It comes off pretty easy, so. All right, now this one's last. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and cover these and then we'll be back. Okay, y'all, so I thought I'd give you a little brief history. I thought this was interesting, so I thought I'd go ahead and share with it. I never knew this, but I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. It's the history of the pizzelle cookie. Originally, though, it's not the name pizzelle, it's ferratelli. So, ferratelli is pizzelle. It came from an Italian historian who lived in the 19th century, Giuseppe Tassini, and he's the one that mentioned them as ferratelli. Other names was infuriate or scalette for the similarity of how these treats look to windows and stars, which is actually true because some of the designs, I'll show it to you on here right quick. See if you can see that. But this would represent the window, and this would represent the stars. So, windows and stars. And every pizzelle cookie, if you look at it, even store-bought, has windows and stars. So, it seems that the origin of the pizzelle's recipe can be traced back to a distant era, as the ancient Romans used to prepare an Italian waffle dessert called crustulium, with almost the exact same ingredients as the classic pizzelle recipe that we use today. However, the iron plates used to cook the ferratelli only began to appear around the 1700s. These iron tools with double plates and handles were forged by blacksmiths commissioned by brides from rich families in Abruzzo, who would request the plates be engraved with the coat of arms of the family or their initials, Lufere. Irons were in fact included as part of young women's dowries. Today, Farfalle pizzelle cookies can be seen filling the window displays of Abruzzo's pastry shops, but in the past they were considered sweet or party sweets. to be prepared during the Easter week or during the celebrations of the patron saints as a sign of respect and devotion. Many Italians who immigrated to the U.S. also brought their own classic pizzelle recipes with them. This traditional cookie is, in fact, one of the most prepared recipes during the Christmas season today in Italian American homes. So, y'all, I thought that was quite interesting to know. And I do know that this is the Italian Christmas cookie, but I didn't know all this other brief history about it. And I thought I'd share that because I thought that was kind of cool. And it explains now why the designs are like they are, because I was trying to see, is there any other designs? Now, the designs that are used for my krumkakis are somewhat the same, but they're not. So, and there is a difference. The pizzelles or ferratellis, they have a more densified press to it and a little bit deeper. Krumkakis, however, they're flatter. And they're used, you would think that they would be made into a waffle cone because that's the design that comes from them. And then they are stuffed with like some kind of pastry fluff. Or you can actually use it to make pizzelles out of it if you didn't want to make that fluff, which honestly, as much as I would love to, I wouldn't because I need to lose weight first. So, but I knew how to be able to do both regions of Italian and Norwegian, and I'm blessed to be able to have the presses to do both of those. So I thought I would share this with you all. Just look, we're going all over the world basically for Christmas differently than what we known at home, and I get an enjoyment out of this. I love to learn something new, and in learning something new I can share it with you. So I hope y'all are liking this episode. So let's get these finished, let them absorb all their liquids, and then we're going to come back and we're going to make our pizzelles. And I cannot wait because my mouth is already watering. I know what a pizzelle tastes like, and I just can't wait. But I've never tried it with this type of sugar, so it's gotten me concerned. Last year, I did try to make pizzelles using regular Splenda. I'm going to be honest, it did not work. It stuck badly to my press, and it was awful. So I'm hoping this one doesn't do that. We'll see what happens. Okay, y'all, it's time to bake cookies, so let's see how this works. We're heating up the iron now. I'm using sprayed olive oil, and the smell from these cookies are amazing, so we're going to see how this works. I'm hoping it comes out really good. So I'm going to flip you around, and we're going to go towards the pizzelle press. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to pause this video for right now. It's going to be a little long because I'm going to try a different recipe at this moment. These cookies are not coming out the way they should, and it could be because it's a too high protein flour, maybe, I'm not sure. So I am going to take and get 188 grams of soft white wheat, fresh milled, make this recipe again, try it and see how that works. So give me a brief moment, y'all, because I'll show you. These are supposed to snap. They're not. They're literally coming apart like waffles. So let's try this again. Okay, y'all, so I'm going to go ahead and finish off this batch of soft white wheat instead because I ain't wasting this grain. I will tell you, they're doing the same thing. They're a little bit firmer, but they're still doing the same thing. So my guess is it's the sugar. Next time I think I'm going to try it with monk fruit, and I'm not mistaken, that's what I did last year, and they were amazing. So I could scratch this and try it again. With the price of eggs, though, at $3 each, this is driving me nuts. So I might just eat them like they are. Enjoy a floppy cookie and see what happens. I mean, they're good. They're just not crunchy. Test kitchens. I don't like it, y'all. Y'all, I did it. I finally got a Farfalle, pizzelle. Gosh almighty, these are harder to do when you're trying to do low carb. So what did I do? Do not use this. This has some kind of reaction to any flour. It just makes it puffy. It does not make it, well, cookie. So you will never get your crisp. You will get more of a fluffy, soft dough. You don't want that. So, number one, don't use that. You can use regular Splenda. You can use, which I've done both, regular Splenda, and you can use monk fruit. However, word of warning, go at least double to almost triple because it will not be sweet enough with 3 tablespoons, period. And that would be what I did, y'all. So let me go ahead and show you how to do these cookies since I now have a pizzelle. Let's go. Alright, y'all. So here's what we got. We're going to take about a tablespoon of our mix right in the center of our press. And yes, it's supposed to be this thick, just so you, in case you were wondering. And then the same amount in this one. Now we're going to take this, we're going to shut our press down like so. And it's seeped out the bottom side. I had that one too far to the edge, so now I'm going to let this sit for about 30 seconds. We're going to check it. Once we see what happens in about 30 seconds, we'll be right back. Okay, so you want to check for golden. These are not quite there yet. They're just about there, so I'm going to put it back down. Just a few more seconds. And now they're done. They should, you can use a fork or a spatula, pull them off to a pan, let them cool off. Now they will not be cookie, they will be soft when they first come out. They start to harden up as they sit in the cool and cool off. So that's it, y'all. From here on, all I do is make up my pizzelle cookies. These are anise flavor. My lemon that I have wasn't exactly lemony. I'm going to have to find a better brand, I think, for the lemon flavor. But if you were to make it a complete batch of this, I would suggest using, because I used about a half a teaspoon for the small batch. So I would suggest about 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of flavoring. You can test by making one cookie. If you need to add more, add more. But I would suggest testing like I did this with this stupid sugar here. This may be great for cakes, for cupcakes, whatever. But it was not good for my pizzelles. So let me get these made and then we'll be back, y'all. Y'all, this was definitely a Christmas experiment late at night in my homestead Mediterranean kitchen. Now, we finally succeeded my cookie. However, it's still, I don't know, it's not the pizzelle I know. And the only thing I could think of is the sugar. Unlike regular table sugar crystallizes. These tend, and the substitutes tend to have a different reaction. However, I'm still thankful I have a sugar-free pizzelle. So I wanted to show you what we were talking about, the stars and the windows. That, y'all, is a pizzelle cookie. And I'm so excited. I love these. If there was any cookie in the world that I love, This right here, y'all, are my favorite cookies, pizzelles. So these are my Italian Christmas cookies, and I make these every year. Just this time I'm learning how to make them, well, sugar-free. So I got a pan. I'm working on it. And I'm also thinking I'm going to have to change up my, I have a container full of extracts. However, they're store-bought. So they're not the same as making homemade. And they taste like somehow they lost their flavor. So I'm going to have to check into probably getting some different type of extracts as well, because the three favorite is lemon, almond, and anise. The anise seems to be okay, but the almond and the lemon, bless their hearts, they're pitiful. So, but I'm going to try, I'm going to give you the original recipe. I'm going to try to slip in the substitute for you if you want to try this homemade and sugar-free. If you're gluten, y'all, I'm just going to tell you, do what I did tonight. Experiment, because that's about all I can tell you. I don't know anything about gluten-free stuff. So, but you can try it. Other than that, y'all, that's my first Christmas cookie for the season. At this point, I'm scared. That's one cookie I do not want to ruin, is my mama's. But I want to try both of those. So that's going to be my next cookies that I'm going to work on. The sugar-free crescent cookies and her kolachki cookies. These are Polish, and I'm not quite sure what the they're like Mexican wedding cookies with pecans in them, but they're crescents. So, or snowballs, people would call them. So many different variations of names. But I do know the kolachkis were either Swedish or Polish. I'm not sure yet. I'll check into it. But that's it for now, y'all. I hope, if anything else, you just had fun with me doing Christmas cookies in the kitchen, and we just spent some Christmas quality time together. I just wish I had some Christmas music in the background. That would have been even nicer. But until next time, y'all, I'm going to shut it down. I didn't go to the gym tonight. I took a break because I've been going all week, but I think I'm going to have a salad. So until next time, I love y'all, and we will see you again on Parton's Mediterranean Homestead.